YouTube, Trey here from Topic Tech, and we're going to be taking a look at the new MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina display. Now, I'm pretty excited to bring this to you, so let's jump right on in. First, we're going to be taking a look at how fast it boots up. For this first example, I set my iPhone up with the timer going, and we're going to power it up and see how fast it boots up. Now, the model that I'm reviewing here is the 256GB SSD model, and it's definitely designed to help boot up faster for the operating system as well as programs and applications within the Mac. Just a little under 14 seconds, not too shabby. Next, let's take a look at the Retina display. Now, there's no way I'm going to be able to describe to you how amazing this looks in person. You're going to have to take my word for this. This looks amazing. There's a lot of different screenshots, a lot of different video that once you watch this on the screen, you start to appreciate the colors even more. One other thing to note is that on the Retina display, they only have one LCD panel instead of two. Normally they have two, where you do get a little bit of glare in the sun in different lighting settings, but in this model there's only one, which reduces the glare quite a bit. In the display settings, they have adjusted it a little bit so it's easier for a lot of people to understand what they're doing with resolution and how it orientates to text and how big it makes things. So you have larger text, the best Retina display, and then at the far right, more space. Let's go ahead and take a look at what large text looks like. Definitely helps when you're reading, especially a lot, and you're using your computer for a lot of reading. The larger text still gives you enough real estate that it looks really good still, but at the same time, it allows you to read better. Now, normally I use mine on the most space so that you can multitask a lot better on one screen, especially on a laptop. So here's a website opened up. You can definitely see further down. The text isn't too small. It's there, so you can zoom in easily. Of course, pinch to zoom. But let's squeeze it over a little bit and see what else we can fit into this same 15-inch resolution that the previous models had before, just different resolution. So yeah, you can almost fit an entire two screens or two websites or two web pages all on one screen. So imagine how productive you could be with this particular setting. Now, one other thing is they don't make an anti-glare version of this one anymore. It's only got one panel, so it reduces glare already. Next, let's take a look at the performance. So in this particular model, I have the i7 version of 2.3. It's got 8GB of RAM, and what they've changed is that 1600 megahertz of DDR3. What that means is it times faster, so it can actually handle more oomph to get it going. Here I have the processors pulled up. There's 4 cores, of course, but there's 8 threads, so that means it can communicate back and forth a lot faster. So here I'm just opening up a bunch of different websites and different pages, and you can see all the processors doing its work, not slowing down one bit. Now let's take a look at the design. Here's the new Retina display next to an iPhone 4S, same thickness as an iPhone 4, but it just barely comes over up to the lip or the lid of the actual MacBook Pro. Not very thick at all. It's definitely shaved off a couple of inches from the original version, but it's definitely really nice and thin to carry around. Next, let's take a look at the ports. Now here's the right side of the MacBook Pro. We have the SDXC port, we have an HDMI port, and you have a USB 3.0 port. I did notice they did get rid of the battery life button that is normally on the side. On the left side, you have your MagSafe 2 port, 2 Thunderbolt ports, USB 3, and an auxiliary port. Here's another thing I wanted to show you guys. It looks like the hinge is designed a little bit differently. It floats, to me, it floats a lot nicer over the edge. It feels very solid, very fluid. I'm not sure if that's a new change in the new Retina display, but it definitely looks and feels good. Also, between the keyboard and the screen, here's some vents for the 15-inch. I believe this was in the previous model, but we're taking a look at it now, so that it's pretty nice that they have extra vents for the heating and cooling. Next, we're going to be taking a look at gaming, StarCraft 2 specifically. Now here again, I cannot explain to you how detailed and how amazing this looks. Here I'm changing the settings. We're going to set it up to highest resolution and max out the settings, and I can tell you this machine can take a beating. This is definitely pushing out every ounce, and it still has so much more to give, but it looks so amazing, especially when you're playing it. The colors, the detail looks amazing. It's great, especially for a laptop this thin, this size. It's amazing. Here's just some footage of me messing around as Protoss, but I can tell you it feels and it looks a lot more fluid than almost honestly any computer that I've ever put together before. It pushes everything about the limits for graphics in a laptop. Should you buy one? I'm gonna say yes. If you have a Mac right now and you're looking for the next best thing, this is it. There's not a lot of computers that can perform the way that this gives. I know the price is scary, but it's definitely worth it. Is this a good first Mac? Absolutely not. Unless you're looking for a Mac to do specifically what this has to offer for you, this is too high of a price point to jump into for the first time. The MacBook Air and the new MacBook Pros that they just relaunched are definitely more worth the price point versus $2,200. But yeah, that's it. I just want to thank you for watching. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.